Well, hello there, beautiful people.
Hello, everybody.
I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Jeremy.
I'm having a bad hair day. My kids told me, well, Mama, just press it down a little bit. But, I thought I could do my own hair, so I did something, and y'all, it went awry. So,
welcome into Cruising Through Life. We are Cruising is Fun Anytime, and we thank you for joining the live show as well as the replay. We thank you for coming in. We already have some people in the chat.
And I'm so happy to see you guys on this Sunday. And let me tell you, while he's looking at who's in the chat, well, my team lost last night, and I was very distraught. I might have been my hair that made me feel like, well, whatever. Perhaps it was my team losing last night. Yes, I'm a New York Giants fan. Always have been, always will be. However, back in the day, when I was a Cowboy fan, I decided to leave the Cowboys when my favorite coach went to Miami. So, in a way, when the interception within the first 10 minutes happened last night, I say, they're not ready to play. They're not ready to move forward. So I turned it off, and I've been wallowing in sorrowness, not a word, I don't think, all day, all through church, because my pastor is a Cowboy fan, and he likes the Giants and whatever. But what are y'all doing today? Tell us down below.
Well, speaking of down below, we got Destination Fun in the house. Hello, welcome in.
Hey.
We have the Muster Drill.
Hey.
The Z Show Cruise Fun.
Hey, Z. I'm having trouble finding your lives, because when I think you're going live, you're not going live. Like I've been going to 1 o'clocks. I've been going to 12 p.m.s, and I've been going to 6 and 8. Sometimes I catch you, sometimes I don't. I'm having a problem looking for you. I'm getting your shorts, but when I'm looking for the marathon lives, I'm not finding them.
We got a comment from Z Show, and he says, days 15 sober. Good job.
Happy for you.
That is good news.
Very, very good news. I'm very proud.
Yeah.
Very proud.
Hello, Lauren Lives Life just made it into the chat. Hello, welcome in.
Welcome in.
And we came to talk about today our cruise that we just recently got off of, the Carnival Dream, going out to the Eastern Caribbean. And
where did we go?
We went to Key West, Freeport, Princess Key, and Nassau.
What was your favorite port?
Oh, definitely Key West. Key West, for sure.
All righty then. And if you drop #creator in the comments, Nightbot
We'll drop your link for you. And Destination Fun, just mention everybody hit that like button. Thank you so much for that reminder.
You're so cool.
And we got some pros and cons to share with you. Not too many cons. It's mostly pros. We had a wonderful, wonderful cruise in spite of
the weather.
We just I'm probably only going to mention the weather once, but in the event that I do mention it more than once, I pre-apologize. But yeah, the temperature, the wind chill on that day was 7 degrees.
On embarkation day.
On embarkation day in Galveston. And those temperatures are unheard of down here. They really are. We were really surprised, if you will. And in response to your comment about his lives, yeah, I had an interesting week. I'll be on my regular schedule on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be sure to catch you, Z.
Yes.
We're going to get on the hashtag notification squad. I know I am. I get your notifications, Z.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure
I get your notifications, but when I go there, it's not the long live. It's the short live.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Down Under Cruisers is in the house. Hello. Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Good day. Good day.
And what we're talking about are our pros and cons on our last trip on the Dream.
Yes.
And it was not many, but it was some.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where we're going to be at some. Okay, for me, the pros, the one pro was the decor. The decor was beautiful. It was vintage. And, not to say, like maybe the older cruise ships back in the day vintage. It was that type of vintage. The chairs were comfortable. The couches comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a very comfortable furniture type thing,
And they have this little room. I can't recall the name of it, but we found a little room right off the side of the library. Yeah, the Rendezvous. Yeah. And I know we did a full, 12 to 14 minute vlog without any interruptions in this room, which had no copywritten music.
No music.
It had nothing going on. I'm not sure when their open times is, but the time that we went in, we had a lot of time just to cover a lot of ground. Creator wise, we were able to, speak on some things. And I thought the decor was awesome. It was Western themed in the Rendezvous.
Yes.
But in the comedy lounge in the very back of the ship, it had masks on the ceiling. And these things are like this thick. It was just, it looked like carvings of masks on the ceiling. It was awesome.
Yes. And go ahead.
Oh yeah. One of my pros was no ropes course. Baby has been trying to get me to, go up on the ropes course while she videotapes from the ground. And,
he's scared of the heights. I'm just trying to get him to overcome his fear of heights.
Correct. And
it's not working. Nothing is working.
I told her that I would do the ropes course on the Dream. And she didn't know at the time that the Dream didn't have a ropes course. So, there we have it.
Yeah.
Antoinette at Fun has just joined into the show. Thank you, Antoinette, for coming in. Good afternoon. And
Antoinette at Fun is also fearful of heights. So her and my husband, fear of heights, I tell you.
Yep. And the Mustard Drill says, so tough. Avoiding copywritten music while vlogging on board. I know. And it was just so quiet in there. It really was. It was nothing but just quiet in
like
there.
It was soundproof.
Yeah. It was right next to the library too. So imagine the extra quiet that came along with that. That place was awesome. But yeah, no ropes course. That's a pro for me.
Stop it. The food in the gathering. They don't call they call their buffet on the 10th floor the Gathering. And the food in the Gathering was the best food in the Gathering. Yep. And on any ship, that I've been on with Carnival. Probably, and I love the Vista food. So probably even the Vista, because the food in the gathering was, to me, better than in the main dining room.
Yeah, we only did the main dining room
2 nights.
twice, so welcome in, Miss Tranquilo. I'm hoping I'm saying your name correctly. Yeah, we are doing well. Thank you for coming into the live chat.
And connect to him, everybody, because I met him through Eddie Lugo. So when Eddie Lugo have his lives, that's where I met some of his friends from.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Jennifer from Embarkation Nation says, we thought the food on the Dream was the best we have had on Carnival in a long time.
See, and I like the Vista, and I like the buffet area on the Dream.
On the Dream.
Very good food. I mean, the best buffet that we've had, and we even went to the, what is it, the Italian restaurant called? Bella.
Pasta Bella.
We went there.
It's not called Cucina del Capitano on the Dream, because there is none. It's nothing but Pasta Bella up there, and extra seating for the gathering, the
Lido,
the buffet area.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's extra seating up there, and they do Pasta Bella. A pro for me is also the Christmas decorations.
Oh my God, it was beautiful.
We were on the Breeze last year, and they were setting up for Christmas on our anniversary cruise.
Yeah, on our anniversary cruise.
And there were some Christmas decorations, but the Dream, they really dug into the decorations, adding, enhancing the decor, that she spoke on.
Even the gingerbread houses were nice.
They had a whole little gingerbread house village on deck 4, I believe it was. Yeah, but that was definitely a pro for me. That Dream did a better job.
Telling you the decorations and the decor, the furniture they had all throughout the Dream, I loved it. It was really nice. We would sit there on the way to the dining room the 2 nights that we would be going. Not to count them last, but another pro were the crew.
The crew was amazing. Mr. Tranquilo says, which cruise that was? So we had our anniversary cruise was December 1st on the Breeze, leaving Galveston, going to Cozumel and Progreso.
Yeah.
No, it was a 4-day. We went to Cozumel and came back. That's what it was.
Yeah,
that was our 4-day.
Yeah, it was our anniversary.
But the one that we're talking about now is our 8-day that we just got off of on the Dream. And that's the crew on the Dream, going back to what she was saying, was very awesome.
And we haven't had any bad crew since the restart. We went back right after they said you could sail. So
in September.
Yeah, we went back just right then. And we haven't had any bad crew.
No.
None. They have been, and all we ask, we ask for ice. That's all we ask for, because we bring our soda and wine. And so we ask for
ice.
Ice. That's all we want is ice.
Yep.
You don't have to do nothing. Then a couple of nights we'll put the snoozing out. Don't even come to the room.
Just don't come to the room.
Take a day off.
Take a day off from us. At
least. Take a day off.
Yep.
And a lot of people did that during Christmas, the Christmas cruise. They gave the crew the day off. It was so many snoozing
signs all over the place.
Yes, and that was wonderful. Give them a day off. Even good Christmas Eve and Christmas. It was nice to see that.
And speaking of snoozing, our interior cabin,
first time ever.
Okay, that was the best cabin that we've had so far. I'm here to tell you, I am sold on the interior. Normally we have a window, either a porthole or a an ocean view. One time we even had a balcony.
Yep.
And while those things are nice to have, they don't contribute to your sleep as much as an interior room does.
Mm-mm.
Okay, the interior room contributes to more rest and being more relaxed.
And a balcony. When we had the balcony, we were only out there during the morning hours.
Mhm.
We didn't go out there at night. We were too tired.
Yeah.
You know, we did. Well, I was. And but during the morning, we would go out there and have our continental breakfast. And that's it.
Yep.
That's the only time we were out there on the balcony. We didn't use the balcony for anything, you know, just, oh yeah, we talked to our neighbors about
We
our
did.
room because
Yes.
they heard us vlogging.
We were out there vlogging, and we got a chance to promote the channel by people that were sitting, you know, on the balcony next to us
Yeah.
as we were pulling up on Mahogany Bay, I think it was.
Mhm.
And it was nice to meet some people like that, but you never know who's right around the corner whenever
Listening
you're
to
vlogging on
you,
your
right.
balcony. Okay, there is some congratulations in order right here. Chance to Travel says, "Hi Z, congrats on the 400 subs."
Yes. He's moving right along really
Yes.
quickly. That is really good. That is very, very good.
And Antoinette, in response to the interior cabin, she said, "I'm trying to convince my husband inside cabins are the best.
they are.
Promote rest and sleep, the best rest and sleep you've ever had." Okay, that's my take on it.
And I don't think you'll be around kids. That's another selling point. We didn't hear no running down the hallway, no yelling from the kids,
Right.
anything. It was peaceful, you know, being inside with no windows.
April Showers just came in. Hello, welcome in.
How you doing? And then something else that we liked. This was a biggie for me. On the Dream, announcing. It's a 2-deck Serenity. 2 decks. You don't have to get there and look for a lounger or a shell or anything like that.
There was open everything.
Yes. 2 decks.
2-deck Serenity. Everybody just spread it out
Yes.
everywhere. You know, it was amazing to see. We're used to that one, and everything is full.
Yes.
You know?
But
even
on the
when the ship
Dream,
was only sailing at 70% or something like that, it stayed full on the breeze.
yes.
Okay. Comparatively to the Dream, where there's a 2-deck Serenity, man, we got a place to sit down every single time.
Yes.
And this and some good vlogging areas up there too for your creators. Don't forget,
Quiet.
if you are a creator, please type in #creator in the comments section, and Nightbot will drop your link.
Hello, April Showers. The next thing that I liked.
Wait, hang on, one more before we go.
Okay.
Shanster says, I love to sit out on the balcony and watch the stars. And of
Same.
course, morning coffee for hours. LOL.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yep.
For me, it was the coffee, the continental breakfast and the coffee, or tea, because I do tea. He does coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what I liked. Another thing I liked up there was the omelet station cooks. I went every morning. One morning I did the breakfast in the gathering,
Mm-hmm.
and then we went to C-Day brunch or something, because all the creators had said, "Oh, you gotta try the banana cream pie."
At C-Day brunch.
Oh my God. I said, what they talking about? So I went and ate breakfast on the 10th floor, 10th deck. Then we went down to C-Day brunch
Mm-hmm.
and got the
Banana cream pie.
but he got another breakfast.
Yeah, I did.
I did get the banana. Oh my God. When I tell you that banana cream pie,
It was good.
it was
It
good.
was really good.
Really
That banana
good.
cream pie is okay. So embarkation. It was one of our pros. That went so smooth. You know, it's cool to get to the ship early and have an early check-in time, but with the early check-in time, there is one security check, another security check, then there's a waiting area. Okay.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can be in that waiting area for a long time.
Mhm.
We found a way around it, a surefire way around it, which is a late check-in.
Mhm.
Our late check-in was at 12 to 12. Our check-in time was 12 to 12:30. Whenever that happens, you get through all of your check-ins. And the way it was designed for us is that by the time we left muster, the rooms were ready. It was 1:30.
And plus, we stay in Galveston,
Right.
so it's no big rush
Mm-mm.
for us to get to the ship.
Right.
You know, we're not fighting Houston traffic coming in or anything. We're here on the island. We stay here.
Right.
So we just take the side streets and go to the port.
But whenever we made it through the second security checkpoint, it was just open boarding. There was no waiting area in order to listen for your number being called or anything like that. So I know we truly enjoyed the embarkation
And
process.
since I'm still using a cane, people let us do what we want to do anyway. Not saying, y'all, I'm having an issue with this cane. I now I'm up to 2 canes because I forget to take it with me, or I leave it somewhere and I'm having to go and buy one, you know, or whatever. So I get doors open, the elevators stay open for me, everything.
She was putting the cane tip in the
Oh,
doorway,
yeah.
holding it for people.
Yeah, I
She was-
throw my cat. You know, I was that elevator girl
Yes.
on the
Yes.
ship.
We hold doors open, elevator doors for people. We do.
Yes.
That's just the nice thing to do. The ports of call was another pro that we have written down. That is a very good choice of ports of call. It is
Except for
definitely
Princess.
it is definitely different than going to Mahogany Bay, Belize, and Cozumel and Progreso. It is definitely different.
I like Belize though.
Belize is cool. Belize is cool.
I do. I love Belize.
And Cozumel is what Cozumel is.
I'm tired of Cozumel, but I like it.
So we went out east.
I like Progreso better.
Key West just took the cake for us. It really did.
Mm-hmm.
We spent the most amount of time in Key West
Ever.
than we have
Any
in
port.
any port. So that one made it, you know, a pro for us. We only have 3 cons. Okay, and I believe Baby just covered one, Princess Key. Okay, they need a lot more activities for people to do.
Yeah, like Royal and has a lot of activities. And Perfect Day
and Castaway Key too for Disney.
Yeah,
those 2 private islands really represent a private island destination very well. Those 2, from what we've seen, now we've never been to these places, but from what we see, there's a whole lot more to do on Castaway Key and Perfect Day at Coco Cay than there is at Princess Key. My expectation was higher.
Mine was
because it was Princess. You know, that was just one of the cons for us. They couldn't really do too much about the weather.
But let me tell you, because you know I've been cruising a long time, longer than he has, and my sister, she's a platinum, so you know she's been cruising lots and lots of times. And when I told her about the weather, you know, well, she knew about the weather, but when I told her about the weather, we discussed it when we came back, and I said, you know, I've been on cruises where when there is
Down Under Cruisers has to go. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for joining us.
Like when there's bad weather, one of the things that they've done on many of the cruises that I've been on, especially the ones that's in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and well, you know, in Florida when the weather is just, you don't know what's going to happen. Let me tell you, the somebody, I don't know if it was the cruise director, I don't know if it was the captain, but when it was extreme weather conditions, the sail away party, the what do you call it? The dive-in movies, things, the parties that they would have outside would be pulled on the inside. I don't know who makes those decisions. I don't know. But it seemed like there was nobody in charge to make those decisions on the Dream. And that is one of the things I discussed on my survey, because I was able to tell Carnival, the cruise directors that made those, and I told them, I said, I don't know who makes those decisions, but on the ships that I've been on Carnival, they've changed the parties from the inside, from the outside to the inside.
Right.
On the third floor, on the third deck.
In the lobby.
Yeah, in the lobby area.
Yeah.
I've been on ships where they've decided to do that. I don't know why they didn't decide to move it. I mean, it was the coldest nights and days and rainiest days.
Thank you for coming in, Chancer. Thank you for joining us.
It was a cold, rainy, windy night, and they still played the dive-in movies. I said, well, why can't they put the dive-in movie on the cabin TV? Because it makes sense. By the end of the cruise, no joke, you had people coughing and sneezing. The people that went outside, stayed outside, or whatever. I'm telling you, it was, somebody should have been in charge of changing the venue around of where the events were going to be held instead of outside. That was one of my biggest pros.
Cons.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Cons.
I'm sorry.
And then you had another one, the Christmas dinner. Okay. I don't have the picture.
What did we do with the picture?
The picture is in the vlog.
Okay.
It's on, I'm not sure that I put it on Sea Eats, but I know that I highlighted it on the Christmas Day vlog. We don't know what it was and still don't. It was
potted meat.
It was about this big. Okay. It was just sitting on the plate, and
it tasted like potted meat. Potted meat?
Correct.
That's what it's called.
Potted meat. Yeah. And it looked like it was stuffed with minced creamed spinach or something like that. It was weird. Okay. It was very weird. I'm not sure that could have been counted as something that should have been served for Christmas. However, as we pulled, we got very disappointed. Okay. And then said, let's go to
the gathering. 10th floor buffet.
10th floor buffet. Let's see what they got for Christmas. We rolled through there, and just like I said in the vlog, I'm going to say it again. It was a great big old bird sitting up on the buffet. Mm-hmm. And we felt instant relief.
I did. It was like seeing, I don't know, $1 million.
It was like seeing a miracle. We needed a Christmas miracle, and that's exactly what the buffet did for us. We saw a Christmas miracle, which is that big old fat bird sitting up on top of the line.
It was a real live turkey.
It was awesome.
It was a real live turkey.
Not live.
Well, no, it wasn't live.
It was cooked. It was
cooked.
Yes, it was cooked.
But let me tell you, This one lady in front of us, in front of me, she said, she came over there and she showed me her thing, her plate. She said, I just told him to yank that leg off that turkey. I said, you know what?
She had a whole turkey leg in her plate.
I fixed to go over there and get me some too.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody wanted real turkey. And in the dining room, they had like deli turkey.
Deli turkey.
Yeah. And
with a couple of sides, cranberry relish.
But it was really cranberry jelly.
Yeah. Cranberry jelly. It wasn't even relish with the real cranberries. But anyway,
we're not going to talk
the
about
buffet,
it because some people liked it.
It was a con for us because our expectations were what we got finally in the Lido, in the buffet. So that was the pros and cons of our cruise. But
not many
cons. It was truly a good cruise.
It was.
It really was.
It was a restful cruise. We needed the rest.
Mm-hmm.
We needed the rest a lot, you guys.
Best sleep you'll ever get. That interior cabin. The interior cabin is where it's at. I mean, I'm still counting that as a pro.
And if some of you that aren't, in the cruise community, if you will still connect to each of the people that are in the chat, and maybe one day you will want to go on a cruise.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a channel, a group on Facebook called Cruising is Fun Anytime and JNS Adventures Group.
Mr. Tranquilo says, see you. He's got to go.
Okay, and thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much. And thank you for your subscription.
If anybody wants to join in on the panel, I have put the StreamYard link in, and it looks like somebody has already answered the call.
Of course, it's me.
What's up, Z?
How you doing, Z?
I'm doing great.
And how are you feeling about all of your subscribers?
Oh, I feel so blessed to have.
Yeah, you're moving quickly.
Yes.
I'm so blessed to have 400. It's going up.
Yeah.
I was afraid when I started drinking alcohol that I'll lose some people, but I gained people. I said, wow, yes. Okay, cool.
Because the one thing that everybody is telling us, and we know they're telling you because you say it all the time, be yourself. And
yes.
That's what you've been doing, being yourself. We're being ourselves. Like yesterday, we were on Embarkation Nations live, but our kids all of a sudden started just, oh my God, all of a sudden, it was like aliens had took over or something. And so we had to leave the live and go deal with them. But so how many days? You've been 15 days, no liquor?
15 days, no liquor. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And
yes.
I did a live feed. I think it was Thursday or Friday. If Ocean will pay part of my deposit for the Jubilee, I will pour out the bottle, and that's what I did.
Okay.
I poured out the bottle. Yeah.
That's what's up.
So basically, yeah. So I am sailing on the Jubilee, the first one.
Okay, the 23rd.
Yes, of December.
Okay, because we've decided to wait until the 24th and go on the 24th with who we going with on the 24th? Let's see. To go on the Jubilee. But
I think it's the 23rd.
No, it is the 23rd for you, but we're thinking about going on 2024.
Yeah, 2024.
Oh, 2024. Oh, you need to cover on that. You need to cover on Christmas week.
I think my dad's going on that sailing, Z. I believe he said he was going on the same sailing as you.
Yeah, his dad.
Yeah, y'all need to come on. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be
I mean, If a windfall comes this way, you will see us. If not, you won't.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have Island Time. We're gonna have Bill. We're gonna have all kinds of people on there, and me and Bill gonna be doing karaoke. You can't miss that.
PSV, is Janice live next? I have not planned out a show for Janice today, so no, I won't be going live. I'm just extending this one to try to see if we can get some creators more followers in this show. I believe that it would be better for me to do it this way, but you can probably look forward to JNS going live next week.
Yes. So yeah, I'm so psyched up right now. Did I tell you guys? My friend said if I lose 49 more pounds, he'll buy my cruise.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So you are blessed. Blessing.
And Jennifer from Embarkation Nation says, "Have Luggage Will Travel Family Reunion Group Cruise." We are on the celebration with them May 20th of this year. If that's the cruise that you're talking about, yes, that's our next cruise.
That's our very next cruise.
Yeah, leaving out of Miami, going to the ABC Islands, Southern Caribbean.
Yes, and hello, See the World. Jeremy has to get with you about next week as well.
Wait a minute.
See the world. So basically,
welcome in.
Basically, the Jubilee's gonna be all set. You know, if I win some money on the casino, I might do the back-to-back.
Right.
For Christmas and New Year's. Can you imagine me?
New Year's? Wow.
That
would be a dream for me. That would be a dream.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just do the back-to-back on the Jubilee. Oh man.
Yes.
But we're going on the celebration and the Mardi Gras this year, so we'll get a definite good feel of an XL class ship and what it feels like.
LNG, yeah.
Yeah, because we've never been on the XL class before. We're super excited about the celebration in the Mardi Gras.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never been on the XL class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
we have a family reunion on the Mardi Gras.
We got somebody else coming into the panel, and as soon as I see them, we can bring them on in.
Okay.
All right. So
here we go. We got Mustard Drill in the house. Hello.
Hey.
Hi, it's nice to meet you guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hey,
welcome
what's
in.
happening?
I've been enjoying your lives and your videos that you've been posting. I've been really enjoying following along, and I last week's live was kind of like a free for all. I sat here and cracked up over it, but I definitely said the next time around I wanted to try to jump in. So I normally am watching on a different computer, so I use a different computer to do my videos and stuff. So it would have taken too long to get all that set up and ready to go and jump in last time. Yeah. So
and Destination Fun is saying hi to you in the chat. Hello.
How you doing?
And let me tell you, Destination Fun and Jennifer from Embarkation Nation, there are some funny people.
Yeah,
I've been really enjoying. I've been like following everyone's lives and stuff like that or whatever. So I've actually been on YouTube since 2019. I've been doing videos and stuff since 2019. I have about over 200 videos on my channel, but they're all hidden right now. So they've all been marked private. So I only have a couple of videos available, and there's a big long mess about that. And I probably won't, take up the, next hour or so talking about that. But I've been having trouble with YouTube and something I don't know if you've probably not run into this problem yet, but there's something on YouTube called invalid traffic.
Yes.
So what happens is YouTube calls it the system, but it's basically the AI for YouTube, and it's constantly monitoring your views and where they're coming from and all this other stuff. So around September, I got a notification that there was invalid traffic on my channel. And as a result, I started investigating it, and YouTube just is completely unhelpful about all of it. So it's kind of like the only way you can talk to YouTube is through chat. So when you initiate a chat conversation with creator support, it's kind of like, it's hard to describe. It's kind of like you say, hey, can you give me some information about what videos have invalid traffic on them? And the response is, it's a really nice day today, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
You know,
automated.
They're totally unhelpful about it. And
Yeah.
it's literally like talking to a wall. And so I ended up going down this rabbit hole with like, you know, searching for invalid traffic and what to do about it and stuff. And I found this thread on Google, like on some Google community.
Sure.
There were over 1,200 posts dating from 2020 on up to, you know, at that time was probably around October of 2022. I found over 1,200 posts from channels that were only had a couple of subscribers, all the way up to thousands or hundred. I mean, there was actually a couple channels that had over 100,000 subscribers, had been on YouTube for 6 years. And then all of a sudden, boom, their channel got flagged for invalid traffic and they could not get anywhere with YouTube. So as a result of that, every time I would get a view, like I would post a video and I would get all of these, get all these views, and my channel, I was getting a lot of views on my channel. My channel has really been doing well over the last couple of years. And I would post a video that I would initially maybe get like 3,000 views on it. And then every day I would get notification that YouTube was backing my views off. And so I might get 6,000 views on a video, but when it was all said and done, I'm only have 200.
Mm-hmm.
And I would argue with them. I was like, come on, you cannot tell me that out of 6,000 views, 5,800 were invalid. I mean, that just can't be possible based on the history and the statistics and all of the analytics of my channel and my average video views. And it was like crickets. Like they just will not. I mean, it's so frustrating. And the biggest issue with it is it sucks the creativity and the will to vlog right out of you.
Yeah.
So it's like you cannot do anything about it, and they just will not help you at all. Like I said to him, listen, I looked at my analytics and I looked at my views, and in one particular video, I had over 3,000 views that were as a result of YouTube suggestions. So that's YouTube suggesting my video to people who are looking for my types of videos. And those people are clicking on it. It's on their For You page, or however you want to, call it, whatever you want to call it. So they're seeing it and they're clicking on it. So then I sent them a screenshot of it. And I said, listen, they were like, oh, thanks for the screenshot. Let's, give us a minute to look at it. So they looked at it and I said, so if over 3,000 views were from your suggestion to other YouTube users, how are they invalid? And they disconnected the chat.
Oh, wow. See.
That's a real talk question they couldn't handle.
It's been so frustrating for me.
They couldn't handle your question.
It's been so frustrating for me, right? So in reality, like when you look at my channel right now, I have 2 videos out there. They're from the MSC Maravilla in October. So like there was a 3-day cruise I squeezed in before my Harmony cruise at the end of October. And those 2 cruises are from October. And I was actually looking at my channel today and I'm thinking, I have about 9 or 12 videos in the pipe ready to go. But I feel like I'm making like a month. Like normally I would release a new video every Monday. So if you would go back through and look at my channel, if you could look at my videos, you'd see that I have new videos every Monday since like basically the restart. So my very first cruise I've been on 54 cruises in my entire lifetime.
Okay.
But my first cruise since the restart was the Mardi Gras in August of 2021. It was actually Mardi Gras' third sailing. So, and then from that point, I was releasing a new video every week. So, so in any event, so when now it's like maybe a month or two, because I feel like I'm releasing these videos, and like my YouTube revenue went from, on average, I was bringing in about $1,200 to $1,400 a month in revenue. And when I look at my revenue now, so like my last two videos have a combined total view of about, probably around 2,100 views or something like that. And in a normal situation, like I would probably make $300 or $400 off of those two videos in a month. If that was the only two videos I had in a month, I would have probably made, maybe $300-$400 off of that. My last 2 months of revenue aren't even $10. So wow. I made $6 in December and $3 so far in January. And, so going from like, over $1,000 a month to barely $10 a month. And every time I ask them why, they keep saying the system detected invalid traffic on your channel. So therefore we refund the revenue back to the advertisers because they shouldn't have to pay for invalid traffic. And I'm like, listen, I completely agree. Nobody should have to pay for invalid traffic.
Right.
And if you could just tell me which videos have invalid traffic on them, I'll hide them. I'll delete them. Nobody will ever be able to watch them again.
Yep.
I'm on board with this whole thing. I don't want fake views either. So I've been racking my brain since December or since October trying to figure out, okay, how could this have happened? And there were a couple instances back in 2021 where I noticed some of my videos, I would post them and I would get notifications that I had some comments. And I, like everybody, I try to be responsive to my users and my viewers. I'm trying to respond to them. I want to engage everybody on my channel. So so I go and I look, and there's these reply or these comments on my video in foreign languages.
Oh, correct.
And I'm like, okay, well, I would just delete those. I would just delete them and be done with it. So I'm like, the best I can figure out is somehow those replies, or somehow that was linked to the URL of that video being posted or shared somewhere on some social media that resulted in bot traffic. And
when the bots don't like each other, it's like we're entering the Terminator era of things.
Right.
Yeah. When the bots don't get along because the countries don't get along, then they're gonna see that as enemy traffic.
I know, it's been driving me crazy. So in any event, I have all my videos on my channel hidden. I have like over 200 videos on my channel, from everything. And I have them all hidden. So the only ones I have out there now are from the Meraviglia, but it was in October. And I have this video from Universal Studios that I went to. I don't know if you know this, Jeremy, or not, as a travel agent. I've been a travel agent since 2016. And
I'm barely 4 months in.
Right. Well, so as a travel agent, we don't have as many perks as we used to, but we used to have a lot more perks. But in any event, the few perks that we have left, I try to take advantage of whenever I can. So one of the things you get is you get a free 3-day Hopper Universal ticket every year.
Okay.
So when I was I was on Meraviglia for 3 days. Then I spent a week in Orlando. until, so my wife, her name is Elizabeth, or I call her Beth, but she's not in any of my videos. But in a lot of my videos, if they ever become visible again, and you are faced with a decision, should I stick a white hot sewing needle in my eye, or should I watch an episode of the Muster Drill? If you decide that you're not into sticking needles in your eyes, so you opt for the episode of the Muster Drill, you may hear me refer to somebody called we. So, and I always call my wife we, right? So whenever you hear me say we is either with me on a cruise or we is not with me on a cruise, because unfortunately we is still working, and I have had the opportunity to retire early a few years ago from my job. So, and then I started my travel agency. So we still work. So we only goes on some of the cruises with me, and on the other cruises I go by myself. So in any event, I spent a week in Orlando in between the Harmony and the Meraviglia. So I ended up going to Universal. So I was actually looking at that video today thinking, about should I put it out there? And then I thought, it's almost February, and I'm going to be putting out this Universal video that you can clearly see it's set up for Halloween Horror Nights.
Right.
So I'm like, it's almost like I'm at the point now where I think I got to like publish all these videos before they're just kind of like out of time, right? Like they're kind of like just displaced at this point. They don't kind of make any sense. But in any event, I'm probably going to do that. Tomorrow, I'm leaving freezing cold Pennsylvania for New Jersey, where I'm getting on an 11-day cruise on the Anthem of the Seas. So,
man.
he is actually coming with me on that one, so I'm looking forward to that. So, but based on how many videos I have in the pipe and everything else, you probably won't see that video till May or June, which, like at this point is kind of stupid, right? But at the same time, I'm like, I feel like I can't keep giving YouTube content for free, right? And I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for money at all. I've been a travel agent since 2016. I've been on about 54 cruises, and I have always wanted to do this. And I'm actually surprised at this point that I'm actually still sitting here talking to everybody, because with over 200 videos on my channel, with having a YouTube channel for as long as I've had, I can't seem to master the English language as soon as the camera goes on. I can sit here and talk to you and anybody else like it's no problem and it makes sense and everything else. And as soon as I put this camera on, I have to do about 127 takes of each segment of my video in order to get a coherent video that I can throw into Filmora and produce something that I can spit out to my channel. So I don't know what it is with me. I just, like people laugh at me. Like sometimes they'll see me and they'll be like, "Oh, you must be a vlogger." And I'm like, "Yeah, but not a very good one if you were listening to what I was saying," because I just cannot master the English language for some reason. Every single time I turn the camera on, I just get so nervous and I lose that train of thought. And I just, I have to, so people keep saying to me, it'll get easier, it'll get easier, it'll get easier. It's not getting easier for me. I was on Carnival Celebration at the end of November, overlapping into December. And yes, I write scripts too, but they don't work for me. So I stopped writing scripts. And I stand in the mirror and I stand in the shower when I know, like I'm on a cruise or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a video today. I stand in the shower and I talk about it and I go it over and over and over in my head. And then when I get out and I get dressed and I get to the point and I'm going to turn the camera on, I'm like, what was I saying in the shower? What I was saying in the shower.
What I use is a teleprompter app on my phone whenever I record the cruise news. It really makes it run a whole lot smoother, and the teleprompter keeps you on time too.
Sure,
you don't have time to say just read.
In my early videos, I had a lot of problems with and this and that and stuff. Like I had a lot of problem with filler words. I don't have too much trouble with filler words anymore, but but I still just have I have a whole brain mouth disconnect or something like that. Like, I don't know what it is, but in any event, I've been, I've been sitting here, I've been sitting here listening to like everybody. I've been watching everybody's, everybody's lives and everybody's videos and stuff like that or whatever. And I've been watching them and listening to them. And and then like, I'll look over here to Wee and I'll be like, boy, they're really much better at this than I am. And she'll be like, what, at doing videos? I was like, no, speaking. They're really much better at speaking than I am or whatever. Right? So, but it literally takes like 127 takes for me to, and I've been doing my videos in segments. So you'll see a lot of cuts in my videos just because I've been finding it easier if I just do a little bit of segments or whatever. But then there's a lot of cuts. But then even each segment can easily have 127 takes. So, and in any event, so I've been, I have all these videos in the pipe and I've been waiting, to see what's happening with YouTube and stuff like that or whatever. Cause again, I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing it for, any of that. I'm doing it to share my perspective on cruising. I've been on so many cruises, different lines, all different cabin types, all kinds of different ships, small ships, big ships. I was one of the few lucky people that got to go to Cuba when they were, sailing to Cuba and stuff like that. So I have a lot of content from Cuba and stuff like that. But so I really just felt like everybody else. I want to, I want to share my perspective. I think everybody has their own unique take on, stuff. So when I was on Celebration, I was on Celebration with Tony from La Lita Loca.
Yes.
Well as Jay from Ship Life. And unknown to me, when I got off Celebration, I thought, I live in Pennsylvania. So when I fly to Florida, which I do for a lot of my cruises, I try to maximize my cruises. So I fly to Florida, try to put, maybe 2 or 3 cruises in together or whatever. And Wee's like, are you ever coming home? And I'm like, well, there's another cruise to go on and stuff like that. So in any event, I decided I was going to do this Margaritaville at Sea cruise, right?
Right.
I would never fly to Florida to do Margaritaville at Sea because it's just too short, but I thought already down there. So, and I had this opportunity to take Brightline. So I love taking the train. I was on Carnival Magic out of New York City in August. So I went up to Eastern Canada. So, and I'm actually doing that cruise again this coming September. Or actually, I was there. I was on Magic out of New York in September. I'm doing the same cruise this coming September, only it's going to be with Wee. Wee's coming with me this time, and it's going to be on the Venezia, so the Costa by Carnival thing. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really excited about that. So we're going to do that in September of 2023. But in any event, I took Brightline up. When I go up to New York City, I take the Amtrak train up. And I just love riding the train. I don't know if it's the thing with, boys growing up to be older men and still having a thing for trains, because I played with trains when I was little. So in any event, I got to take Brightline from Miami up to West Palm Beach to get on Margaritaville at Sea. And I had like over an hour's worth of conversation with Jay from Ship Life when I was on Celebration.
Okay.
It was the first time I had met Jay. So I had over an hour's conversation with him, and he was really helpful and really nice about a lot of things, and had really spent a lot of time talking to me and stuff about, he was telling me that, his channel's got almost 150,000 subscribers.
Yes.
He's huge, right? And he tells me that if he doesn't do a video inside a 2-week time frame, he is stuttering and stammering and having all kinds of trouble with, speaking and stuff like that too. So in any event, I was on Margaritaville at Sea, and I was finishing up a video that I was doing from that. And he walks up behind me, and I turned around and I was like, small world, fancy meeting you here. And he walks up to me and he says, "Hi, I'm Jay. It's nice to meet you." And I just looked at him for a moment. I was like, what? I was like, Jay, it's me, Scott from the Muster Drill. We just met
Mhm.
on Celebration, and he was like, "Oh, you were the guy that was talking to me up in the Serenity deck about having trouble doing your videos and stuff like that." And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I'm really sorry. I was drinking a lot on the Celebration."
And Antoinette,
I was-
and Antoinette has a comment about what we were talking about. A lot of problem with filler words, and I know what she means.
Yeah.
A big part of what I do is I think and talk at the same time. So
Yeah.
I say a lot, you know, and I'm working on that. And these lives are causing me to just talk straight through.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I noticed that. I noticed that about the lives. Like I've been watching, like I said, I've been watching you guys on lives, or if I don't catch you live, I'll watch your replays and stuff like that or whatever. And I was thinking to myself, you know, boy, they really just have they have a really good flow or whatever. Right.
Mhm.
So, you know, maybe I'll get there someday. Maybe I won't, you know, I don't know. I just, you know, maybe one day I'll
Also-
do a video about how much it takes for me to do a video.
Right.
Right.
That
Like
is a good idea.
with a whole bunch of outtakes and a whole bunch of like, you know, like blah, 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 you know, kind of stuff and everything else. And we'll see if that one gets more than 5 views.
Also in a live setting, it's kind of hard for you to get invalid watch people, right?
Well, yeah. So here's the interesting thing. Like I said, so these last 2 videos I have is, you know, those are like just the last 2 videos that have over, you know, one has like 1,300 views and the other has like over 800 views or whatever, which is kind of normal average. Like, you know, I have a whole bunch of videos from the Carnival Legend, and those have like, you know, 3,000, 5,000 views, stuff like that or whatever. So, so at any event, you know, that's kind of like the normal view count for me is to get, you know, maybe over 500, sometimes, you know, a couple thousand, just depends, you know.
Sure.
I'm sure you know this by now. YouTube audiences are very fickle, right? So like, you know, sometimes you think to yourself, you know, I'm going to hit it out of the park with this video, and then it gets like 300 views and you're like, you know, why didn't people love it as much as I loved it? Right. But in any event, and then there'll be other times when, you know, I'll get, you know, 10,000, 12,000 views on a video, and I'll just be like, I didn't even think that was one of my greatest videos. So
We got somebody else in the panel here. Pedroza Travel. Hello, welcome in.
Hey, how's it
And also
going,
Paul.
everybody?
how you doing?
Paul Vines, I saw you trying to come in. I can drop the link again in the event you want to come join us.
And hi, African Dreaming.
Yes, we saw you guys in the chat.
Hey, how's it going? Totally know what you're talking about, though, Mustard Drill. About you work hard on a video and you edit it up and you got all the funny transitions and all the sound effects, and you get like 50 views. Meanwhile, I just posted a video that I just did raw, basic cuts about the Rose Bowl parade, and it got like 12,000 views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The simplicity.
Yeah.
Simplicity sometimes is better if you got a good enough product to do, you know, if you're a one take person, like the ones with us in the car, those are one take videos. They might be just 8 minutes long, but we'll just throw it out there while we're mobile, you know, and those are the ones that get the views.
Right. Well, the thing that I noticed too,
walk-alongs too.
the interesting thing was that I was, one of the last times I was chatting with creator support with YouTube, the guy I was talking to at that point, he had said to me, you know, like I felt like occasionally I mean, I've probably chatted with them over 100 times, right? And occasionally I will get a representative who will give me just a breadcrumb of something. So that and that kind of like leads to why I've hidden all my videos. So I talked to this guy, his name was Ray, and he had said to me, he said, the video that's getting the invalid view could be a video from like a year ago. And if that video somehow got a view, even though it's a year old, in the last, say, 30 days, then that's going to cause you could have this video that's 2 days old. It could have 68,000 views. You could have, you could have $1,000 in AdSense revenue on that video. And if this video from a year ago gets an invalid view, YouTube is going to refund all of the ad revenue from that video that's only 2 days ago that didn't get the invalid view.
Yep.
It has caused me to like want to wring my hands because I'm just like, okay, I don't have any choice. I've got to hide my entire log of videos because, and then in the hopes that if I leave them hidden for, I don't know, say 6 months or whatever, that whatever spam site out there or whatever that keeps recycling my links or my URLs kills the invalid URL like through some type of housekeeping. And then somebody had said to me, you can't possibly think that some spam site is doing maintenance where they're going to actually go in and clear out old videos. So they're like, you could do that, suddenly see your channel recover from it, say, okay, it's safe to go back in and unhide all your videos. So people aren't asking why you have almost 3,000 subscribers, but only 3 videos. And then I'm like, and then suddenly one of those bots clicks on that link or something like that again, and then your whole channel tanks again,
Boom.
right?
Boom. Hey, Warren Strong, welcome into the chat. Welcome
it's
in.
So frustrating. So in any event, we're gonna go wait and see what happens. I'm definitely gonna leave them hidden for a while and just kind of see where it's going, and just kind of like just release my new videos since kind of October, since like in chronological order from the ones that are out there now, which is this 3-day on the Maravilla that I did in early October. And now I'm going back on Maravilla in March, but for a 7-day. Then I'm going on Seascape in April. And then I'm trying to squeeze some other cruises in there, kind of like over May and possibly June. And then I've got a full dance card coming back up again in September on Venezia, and then I'm on Wonder in October. I wanted to go on that booze cruise so bad. I was like Wee is always saying to me, we cannot book cruises far out anymore because as soon as we get this cruise on the books and we can't back out of it, then something else comes along, or I'll get that email, I'll get that spreadsheet from Royal Caribbean or whatever that'll have, like some really great cruise on there for like $5 and stuff.
Right.
And I can't I'm already on this other cruise and stuff. So I'm just like, oh, when you guys, because like my birthday is October 29th, right? And I know yours is October 30th, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So I always take a cruise for my birthday, right? So this time it happened to be a Wonder. So I'm actually going to be on Wonder for that. So, but I was like so bummed. I was like sitting here thinking, is there any way I can get out of that?
Well, you as a travel agent should know you got to be
guys.
flexible to get the best deal.
You got to be flexible. Yeah.
I
man.
know. But like,
you're never gonna get the best
obviously I
deals.
can't get out. Obviously, I can't get out of that cruise. So in any event, we really want to go on Wonder. So Wee's kind of a cruise snob a little bit. So Wee has this, she has this thing where she wants to do the ultimate dining package for Royal Caribbean, but it has to be on a ship that has absolutely every single restaurant she wants to go to. So far, that's only going to be Symphony or Wonder.
So does she like to do those upgraded experiences?
Like be more specific. Like, what do you mean?
Like when I'm not talking about like the main dining room, the MDR is like, like the trend these days is they have the upgraded, like in Carnival, you have the steakhouse or you have.
Oh yeah, right. So that's what I'm talking about. So like there's an ultimate or unlimited dining package on Royal Caribbean.
Yeah.
So like you can buy like a couple of restaurants, or you can get the unlimited where you can literally go to every single restaurant. And so we were just on Harmony. And we're getting ready. We're getting on Anthem in 2 days, right? But they don't have every restaurant she wants to go to. More specifically, like they don't have Hooked. So Hooked is on.
She likes specific ones.
Oh, yeah. So like Hooked is on Symphony and and Wonder, and then of course Wonder has that new there's like this new restaurant on Wonder that's like, I don't know, like country cooking or something like that or whatever, right?
Oh, Mason Jar.
Like, you know, like Guy's got his restaurant on Carnival. I was like, you know, this restaurant kind of reminds me of something that Paula Deen would do or something like that. But
I think it's called the Mason Jar.
Yeah, the Mason Jar. Yeah. So in any event, so she wants to do like this unlimited dining package. So we're gonna do that on Wonder because it has Hooked and the Mason Jar, right? So because they always have the other ones. Like Wonderland is on Anthem, which we're getting ready to get on and stuff. And we've been on Anthem before. We did a 12-day on Anthem in 2017. This one's an 11-day. It's pretty much the same as it was on back in 2017. Only we're trading out Martinique and Barbados for Lucia and Kitts. So so for me, like, I'm the oddball, right? Out of all the cruises I've ever been on, everybody loves sea days, right? Like sea days, you ask any cruiser, sea days are the ultimate day for a cruiser. Not me.
I'm a port day person.
I'm a port guy too.
That's the one thing about cruising that I do not like is, like, I was just in Cabo and the port day in Cabo was from 9 to 2. I was like, no way. Nothing even opens in Mexico until like 11 a.m.
Right.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Right. So I don't like sea days. So this, obviously, within 11 days from New Jersey, you know, there's a lot of sea days.
Right.
So, it's surprising to me because you mentioned the Margaritaville cruise, and like that just does not appeal to me at all. Like,
oh my God, listen, I mean,
like the booze cruise out to sea, that's not my scene. I'm sorry.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I was so sure I was going to hate Margaritaville at sea, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, come on, I will have to tell you that it was, you know, it was exactly what you would expect it to be, right? It was an old ship that was refurbished or renovated, right? Okay, but here's the thing: I've been cruising since the 90s. Okay, so I've been cruising way before the great big Oasis and Quantum class ships. Okay,
so did you get the nostalgia factor?
I'm telling you, like I said, I've watched so many other people's Margaritaville at Sea videos, including Jay's last video, and I was like, when my Margaritaville at Sea videos come out, I'm gonna be the only cruise vlogger that actually gives Margaritaville at Sea a thumbs up. Like, don't fly to Florida to do Margaritaville at Sea, but if you are in Florida for some other reason and you can swing a 2-day cruise on Margaritaville at Sea, keep an open mind and go on that ship, because I'm telling you, I could look around and I could see the Costa Classica in everything that I saw, right? Like I could see this classic Costa Italian cruise line from back in the day when cruising was, you know, like really regal and you know, and I just loved it. And now it was Margaritaville themed now, right? So, but I was expecting my cabin to be this big, okay? And the bathroom kind of was like an indoor outhouse. Okay. So,
you're selling it to me now.
I mean, really, I'm getting pumped about this thing, man.
Seriously, like the bathroom is kind of like an indoor outhouse, but it wasn't dirty or anything like that. It was just, you know, like, it was just kind of weird. Right. So I've been on these old Carnival ships where the whole bathroom floods because the water goes right over this, like, you know, little tiny bump and stuff like that. But with this, it was actually recessed a little bit, so the bathroom didn't flood or anything like that. But like, I have this whole video. I don't usually do ship tours or cabin tours. I have a couple of times, but I don't really. That's not really my shtick. Like, I don't really do that. But I did do like a cabin tour of it, and I was surprised. Like, you can see my, like, you know, massive living room here behind me. Like, I'm telling you, like, my cabin was almost as big as my entire living room here. Like, it was massive. And I was like so blown away at like how good of a shape it was in. And they even went and installed USB ports beside the bed. I mean, I've been on Carnival ships that don't have, you know, that are like, you know, half that ship's age and they don't have USB ports next to the bed.
The Vista doesn't even have USBs by the bed.
Yeah. Right. So I was really surprised by all that. And then, like the show is like, this is the first time this ever happened to me too. I always go and film a little bit. I love shows, right? So I always go and film a little bit of the shows, and I always try to incorporate the shows in kind of like my wrap up. I do these wrap up videos a lot of times from a sailing. I'll just be like, here was some of the show and stuff like that. And I show like some clips of the show. I can't put the audio in there for the copyright strike, but so I always put the video of the show and stuff. Either I'll do it full screen or I put it up here in the corner or something like that. But in any event, so I go there, there's this whole Margaritaville. It's Margaritaville music. So Jimmy Buffett music.
Right.
But it's this like uniquely developed show. So I go there, I got this great seat, I'm filming it just so I can get video clips, but I film a crap out of it because I don't know which clips I'm going to want to include and stuff like that. So I always have a lot of extra footage when I do, when I do vlogging and stuff. So in any event, I leave there, I go out, walking down this hallway, I go into this other lounge, I forget what it was called or whatever. I go into this other lounge and I'm walking for the door, and these two security guards step in front of the doorway, and I was like, I stopped, and I was like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "We need to speak to you." And I was like, "Okay, what did I do?" And they were like, "Actually, the theater manager is coming. She needs to talk to you." And I was like, "Okay." So all of a sudden, she shows up. She says, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Okay." She was like, "I was told that you filmed almost the entire show." And I was like, "I don't think so." I was like, "But here's my phone. You're welcome to look and see what I filmed." She was like, "Well, why did you film it?" And I was like, "Because I'm a vlogger and I filmed it because I'm going to use it in my YouTube video." And I was like, "But I'm not going to use any of the audio." I was like, "Because it'll get copyright striked." I was like, "So I'll probably just use a couple of clips or whatever. They'll be up in the corner." So she was like, "Okay, so what's the name of your channel?" I told her I had cards because I'm blind. I can't see anybody without my glasses, right? So I'm blind. So I pulled out I carry this satchel with me. I kind of like a man purse, right? Because it has my reading glasses in it because I can't see without them. So in any event, I pull out my glass case and I pull out a business card for my travel agency. I don't have business cards for my YouTube channel, but I pull out a business card for my travel agency, and I'm like, "I'm a travel agent, I'm a travel partner. I have, this YouTube channel. Here's this, I was like, I swear to you, I'm not going to use the audio. I'm just going to use some of it. But if you really have a problem with it, I won't use any of it." And she was like, "No, I think we'll be okay." She was like, "It's just that this show was developed specifically by Jimmy Buffett himself. And he's really going to have a problem with somebody trying to rip it off." And I'm like, "Well, I can assure you, I'm not from another cruise line here to look at your, show or something like that or whatever." And that was the end of it. But that was the first time that ever happened to me. Nobody has ever said anything to me about filming a show ever before. I mean, I was on Oasis back in May, and I filmed Cats, which, when I was little living here in Pennsylvania, I used to see the local TV commercials all the time, Cats now and forever, and it wasn't until I got to be an adult that I realized the legend of Cats will live on for all time. I actually thought that meant that Cats would be showing at the Winter Garden Theater in Manhattan forever, and I would be able to grow up and take myself to New York and see the show. But instead I wasn't. So I was really bummed. I've been bummed for a long time. So when Cats came to Oasis, and Oasis comes to New Jersey every summer since 2018 or something like that or whatever. So in any event, I was thrilled to go and see Cats. I was front and center. I had this great shot and great seat, and I filmed a lot of it or whatever. And believe it or not, I used the audio from those clips in my YouTube video and never got a copyright strike.
That's so weird because I have tried to film in a theater before on a cruise, and I always get asked to put down my phone. I'm like, all I'm doing is taking a photo or a small video of the stage. And
really?
Yeah, so
That was the first time that ever happened to me, was on Margaritaville. Nobody has
this
ever
was
said a word to me about it. Ever.
Carnival on the West Coast. They've stopped me from filming, and then I have to explain.
Really?
Well, I'm just taking one of the stage, or I'm just taking one of the curtain call clip, and then they're okay with that. But like, I have not dared to take any of the actual production.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a problem with it, and like I said, I'm probably showing maybe like if I have an hour, like not an hour, like if I have a half an hour's worth of footage, from different segments throughout a show from start to finish, I'm probably showing 30 seconds of it.
Makes sense.
Like
I mean, nobody wants to
of
watch
it or whatever up in the
a
corner.
YouTube video of somebody filming a production show because they'll probably just want
Oh
to
yeah. Right. Because it's like
I totally get it. If you want to show like, hey, look at this guy flying through the air. I mean, that makes for a great shot.
Right. No, so like I'm doing things like, like I'm always doing my wrap up videos. So I'm like, okay, so, it's our last day, this, that, or whatever. So I'll be like, I was on the ship and, this is what happened and that's what happened. And, and I really enjoyed this and I really like that. And then now here's the thing. I'm platinum on Carnival. So I've been on a lot of Carnival cruises. I'm almost Diamond Plus on Royal Caribbean. So I've been on a lot of Royal Caribbean cruises. So I, and I love the shows. I love everything about cruising. And I'm not one of these people that just like, oh, this was terrible and never do this again and never do that again. In fact, like my most successful video was Carnival Magic out of Norfolk, Virginia this past June. I had almost 28,000 views on that video in 3 days. Right.
Wow.
So, in any event, and that was Carnival Magic, OMG, never again. Right. That was my thumbnail. Right. And, and a lot of people thought I'll never sail a Carnival Magic again. No, I'll just never sail from Norfolk again. Norfolk is a nightmare.
I've heard about that.
It's a nightmare. It took me 7.5 hours to get from the parking of my car to walking in my cabin. And I'm one of these people, when I get on any cruise ship since the restart, the first thing I do, as soon as I walk across that bridge and onto that ship, I am going straight to muster station and banging it out. I am so tired of these people who just have to get hounded and pestered all the way up to the time when the ship is going to leave about, you still haven't come and done your muster drill. So in any event, and I am the muster drill, so I have to do the muster drill, right?
Yeah, it would be ironic if you didn't do it.
Exactly, right? So in any event, so I'm hoping to really love the mason jar as well. So, so in any event, I get on the ship, right? I love it. I love everything about it. I'm not snobby about it or whatever, but in some of my earlier restart videos, I was really beating Carnival up really bad for their shows. I just don't know like what it was, but like I really like a production value show. And I say that a lot in my videos where I'll say this show had great production value because that's really what I'm looking for when I go on when I go to the shows. And for Carnival, it was all of these people sitting on stools, smiling, and one person would get up and kind of, twitch on out to the edge of the stage and then come back and sit down. And there wasn't many backdrop changing and there wasn't any of that kind of stuff. And that just was really annoying me. Now it's getting better now. In fact, if you're going to go on XL, and on XL, on Mardi Gras, there is this show called Celestial Strings.
I have seen that show. That show, I was just about to counter you with Celestial Strings.
That show is incredible. I mean, it is absolutely fantastic. Knock your socks off, right? Like I love that show. Right?
You were dissing on Carnival there, and I was like, well, what about Celestial Strings? I mean, they do costume changes with
yes. Celestial Strings definitely redeemed them as far as that goes, right? But there's probably still a lot of like sitting there smiling at the audience and stuff like that. I don't know what the deal is with that.
I saw one called Broadway. It was Broadway Beats, and that was just basically you got 7 people on the stage. They sit on a stool. One guy will get up, one girl will get up, start singing, and then the other people are singing up. But Celestial Strings is an awesome show, and
Yes.
they're doing better.
Yes. Now when I was on Celebration, I don't think they had Celestial Strings on Celebration, but they had something similar. But I ended up not going to it just because I was like busy with this, and I was busy with that, and I was just doing all this other stuff. But and as far as like exploring the ship, I wasn't really exploring the ship too much because it is obviously identical to Mardi Gras, and I've been on Mardi Gras twice. So I was on Mardi Gras back in when the restart happened, and then I went on Mardi Gras again in April of 2000. God, they just all run together for me now.
Mhm.
So of 2000 something, I was on
Right.
Mardi Gras, and Weenie was with me that time. So, but in any event, so I wasn't in the show. I mean, the ship is the same. It's just that like obviously. Mardi Gras is kind of like a New Orleans themed, right? And so, and then Celebration is kind of like kind of an homage to Carnival, right? Like to, every time it cracks me up when I watch these old Kathy Lee, commercials and stuff like that, right? When she calls the original Celebration the Superliner, and I was like, well, comparatively, the new Celebration really is a Superliner when you can compare that, right? But in any event, so it's more kind of like a celebration of Celebration, or like
Have you
a
seen
tribute to
Carnival
Celebration.
show Soulbound?
No, so that was so was that the one that was on Celebration there in the center, like in the like that they put on?
It
where
was on
they
the
put
Panorama
Celestial
when I
Strings?
was there, and that was a pretty good one. Not as good as Celestial Strings, but that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was kind of a more like soul, rock and roll soul type of venue.
Gotcha.
But it
Okay.
was good. They had a lot of good dancing there. Now
Right.
the Panorama, when I was on there, I will say for the Broadway Beats, they had to modify their schedule because on the West Coast we get a lot of heavy seas, and so
Okay.
that can sometimes change the production.
Yeah.
Like you can't dance
Right.
around a lot
Right.
when there's a lot of waves.
Right. So when I was on Oasis in May of 2022, sailing out of the Northeast, right? Like if I ever make those videos visible again, you'll see like the seas were like as angry as they could possibly be for a lot of that. And they have, you've been on Oasis, the Aqua Theater is on the back of the ship, and there's a lot of diving and a lot of like tightrope walking and all this other kind of stuff. And they had to shut that show down 3 times because the seas were too rough. And they would tell us, just, have us, sit where you are. The captain's going to look for, maybe like a little bit of calmer waters, and hopefully we can resume in a couple of minutes when the captain gets away from that a little bit. And I think that might have even happened once on Harmony in this past October, where they had to like kind of stop the show in the middle of it. Captain had to find some, a patch of seas that weren't as rough so they could resume the show and go back to it. So that definitely, does affect, that. I think that's probably where I've seen the most of interruption to that kind of stuff. Was because, it would have been like on Oasis or whatever. And you think this massive ship like Oasis couldn't be possibly affected by a little bit of rough seas, but it really is. I guess what it does is it changes the depth of the pool.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's kind of like listing and stuff because of rough seas, it changes the depth. And some of those, and they're diving from way up, and they have to really be precise when they hit that water. So if the depth of the pool changes by even a foot because of rough seas, and they hit that water, even if they hit it where they're supposed to, it could be a foot less deep, and they could end up hitting the bottom. So yeah. So
anyways, I gotta go, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. It was fun talking to
you got
everybody.
to-
Nice meeting you again.
And
Yeah,
listen,
coming in.
I mean, I really apologize for hijacking your live,
All is
but
well. All is well.
No, that's
Yeah, so-
wonderful. That was information we all, as
Yes.
creators, needed to know.
Yes, and
Yeah.
the ins and
So,
outs.
like, and that's the one thing I thought to myself. One of these times, I'm probably, if I don't get into somebody's live and talk about this, I'm gonna maybe possibly do my own live about it and just talk to some of the creators who maybe haven't run into this, because that's like the thing that was so interesting to me when I went down this rabbit hole was learning about this, was that it wasn't, you'd think that something like that might happen to a new creator or small channel, somebody just getting going and stuff like that. But it wasn't. It was happening to these huge channels that were, you know, like that had been around for a long time. And it was just like all of a sudden, somehow one of their links got shared or got visited by a bot, and it was game over, you know? And in that situation, I thought, oh, you know what? I'm just going to reach out to YouTube. YouTube's going to tell me what video it is, and I'm going to be able to just hide it, or heck, even just delete it. And that'll be the end of it, and it'll be all fun. And then it finally, like, YouTube's kind of like, sorry, to preserve the integrity of the system.
Yeah.
We cannot give you any of that information because we don't want you to game the system. And I'm like, well, I appreciate that, but at the same time, I don't want invalid traffic. You don't want invalid traffic. Right. And so you'd think that you would just tell me what video has the invalid traffic so that we can work together to get rid of it and preserve the integrity of the views, right? Yeah. But instead, they don't. Now, I did see one channel, big channel, they do sports casting. They talk about sports or something like that. They have 661,000 subscribers. Whoa. They've been around for 9 years, and it happened to them. And I did see a lot of commenting by like, they're so big, they don't even run their own channel anymore. They hired a media corporation to manage their channel. Right. And the channel manager from that media corporation was actually talking about this. And what he was saying was, YouTube charges an advertiser for an impression, right? Mm-hmm. So, and if you've ever done any advertising for yourself or whatever, you would see that the way Google ads work, or the way YouTube ads work, is you decide how much you're going to pay per impression, mm-hmm. and how much you're going to pay per view. So YouTube just makes the impression of your ad. So any way you look at it, when that person or that advertiser places that ad with YouTube, they are already going to pay up to the maximum amount that they have decided that campaign, they're going to pay for that campaign. Yeah. They've designated that. They've already decided what they're going to pay for that. And YouTube is going to do those impressions for them and get paid for those impressions.
Sure.
Where the revenue share comes into is when somebody clicks on that video or watches that ad, then they do a revenue split on the view with the YouTuber of 55% to the YouTuber and 45% for YouTube. Mm-hmm. But any way you look at it, YouTube is keeping the money for the impression.
Yep.
So this guy was managing this big sportscasting channel, he had said that based on his experience in the industry and everything else, he really feels like YouTube has a vested interest in not telling you how to stop the invalid traffic by not sharing that information and really being kind of stupid and dumb about it with you. Because on one hand, they're going to get the impression money no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then on the other hand is, if they get your content and don't have to give you 55% of the revenue that came in from the ads on your video, it's a win for them, because they get the impression revenue, they get your content. You know, your content could get 6,000 views and they don't have to pay you anything for it.
Right.
You know, so that's the real frustrating part of it for me. Again, I'm not doing it for the money, but at the same time,
it helps.
You know this, you know, you of all people know this. A lot goes into creating content, right?
Yes.
A lot goes into it. I mean, you know, you really spend a lot of time doing it, and, you know, and the reward is not just that people are liking your content and stuff like that. Because for me, I know I'm only going to get 6 cents a day or something like that on my views, right? I realize that at this point right now, right? I know that, but I'm still producing and still publishing content, because really the reward for me is when I start seeing the likes going up and people, and that says to me, hey, somebody or these people are liking your content,
Right.
they're liking what you're doing, and that makes it worthwhile for me. That says to me that was worthwhile, me not laying around on the chair up by the pool or this or that or whatever, but instead in the cabin, spending time on the laptop doing, at least bringing in the content, bringing in the clips and stuff like that, if I didn't sit on there and create the entire edit, right, or whatever. But still, that makes it for me. The money is kind of a bonus, right? Because if you think about the big channels, right, the big channels are going on cruises, because they're making so much money
Correct.
off of that content that they can basically afford to fund all the cruises, right?
That's it.
And that's kind of like the ultimate goal, right? So that you can just keep funneling it back in, because every time you go on another cruise, it's more content, it's more views, it's more revenue. It's kind of like the cycle, right? But in any event, it's frustrating to know that I was there. I was starting, it was really taking off, it was really happening, and then all of a sudden this happens, and now my view, I'm still getting really good views and stuff like that, really good responses. Less now because my videos are not out there as much, because the other side of this is when YouTube is backing off your views and backing off your likes and doing that or whatever, what they're also not doing is the algorithm is not serving your video up. So when somebody goes and types in, so like right now, these Maravilla videos, somebody goes and types in MSC Maravilla, I'm not coming up high up on the list, right? I used to be like the third video, right? Of every single video I was on. So I was on the Sunshine, I was on the Legend, I was on, this, that, whatever. I would be like the third video, the fourth video. And then now I'm like, maybe after you've scrolled for 20 minutes, you'll find my video, right? Or something like that. And it's frustrating for me, really, like to the degree where I'm just like, it is hard for me. I have to keep pushing through and pushing back against this kind of like, frustration and this desire to just give up. And the whole situation just sucks the creativity out of you. It sucks the motivation out of you. I have to push against that. Like, I'm about to be on the ship for 11 days and I'm going to try to produce, presumably, between 7 and 10 videos from an 11-day cruise, if at all possible. And that's going to be a struggle and a real push and hard, and We's going to be motivating me and, and everything else, trying to get me to produce this, because I'm feeling like to myself, what's the point?
Right.
In any event, I guess I'll put the woe is me, part of it away and just say, I love what you guys are doing. I love that you guys are offering this forum and this format, and you're building such a community, really, like of smaller, more, newer, people to the, and really providing, I think, motivation for people to say, let me throw my hat in the ring. Let me offer
Exactly.
Well, here's a piece of motivation for you.
Don't give up.
No, you may consider.
I'm not gonna give up, but it's tough.
You may consider giving your channel a round of good dialysis. Out with the old, in with the new. The bot does not know the new videos.
Yeah, right.
Does not know the new videos. So give your channel some dialysis. Let those old videos go. If they're causing you to stumble, or if they're causing you the headaches and demotivating you and stuff, get rid of them.
I mean, that's the tough thing for me though, is that It is like it's the like I mean it's over it's almost 200 videos. You know what I mean? It's like it's only 200 videos. It is so much content. It is so much content from like so many different places and so much stuff or whatever. And it's so much content. And I'm just like, and if I wish I just knew which videos were the problems and which ones weren't, so that I could just leave those hidden and bring the rest of them back. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, but
Are you going through that, man? But
yeah, I mean, like I said, it is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't be on here today, and I wouldn't be talking about it still or whatever if I wasn't.
Good information.
Yeah, it is. It's real
People
good
are
information
saying-
for people like us.
That's the thing. I really wanted to say. You know what? I need to share this somehow with somebody because, God willing, you guys never have to deal with it. You know, because think about it. Like the last time I looked, there were over 750 million YouTube channels across all niches.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's out of over 750 million channels about everything and anything, there's probably close to 200,000 that have had to deal with this situation, right? Leaving the possibility, I mean, way more than ever had to deal with it is not dealing with it, right?
Mhm.
So that leaves the possibility that all or none of you, I mean, all, you know, like you guys will never have to deal with it, right?
Right.
You know, I never thought that I was going to have to deal with it. And, you know, but here I am dealing with it. So, but in any event, you know, I'm still pushing through it. I am going to leave those, like I said, I'm going to leave those videos hidden for a while. So from here, kind of like out, I've got my Maravilla videos. I'm going to have, you know, I have another one already up there, ready to go, just ready for me to sign in and hit publish, you know, and it'll, you know, and I'll just kind of go from there. I probably have at least 30 videos or whatever that are in my pipe that I can keep going with it or whatever. And then of course, when I get off, you know, some of these cruises that I'm getting ready to go on and stuff like that, I'll have more content and stuff, and we'll just kind of go from there, and then we'll see. But, you know, at the same time, if my channel doesn't recover from that, you know, if it turns out to be like March or April and I'm still making $3 a month in AdSense revenue, at that point, I'll probably just say I have nothing to lose. I'm just going to put them all out there again. You know, suddenly, like, I'll go from like, you know, 10 videos to 210 videos. People will be like,
Right.
you know, hey, did he buy those videos? You know, where did those come from? So in any event, but listen, thank you so much for your time, for, you know, letting me hijack your channel. Again, you know, I apologize that
No, this is
I hijacked your live stream or whatever, but I definitely enjoyed your videos. And I loved your dream videos. This first dream video I watched of you guys, I was like, oh, look, this ship is so decorated for Christmas.
Yep.
I love that so much.
Thank you.
Because the ships were not, last one I was on was in early December, and they were not decorated for Christmas yet. So, and I've been on Breeze and I've been on Magic. So those are the other two Dream class ships.
Right.
So, and I really felt like Dream Class was like a miniature version of Vista, kind of, sort of, very similar to Vista. Now, I've not been on Vista; I've been on Horizon, right?
Yeah,
so I haven't been on Vista.
They're almost a spitting image of each other. They just hold more people.
Yeah.
Right.
More
And then, like
narrow hallways.
in the Royal line, literally the Voyager class ships and the Freedom class ships are identical. Like they are absolutely positively the exact same ship, only one class in between. So like one's a little bigger, right? And there's more Voyager class ships than there is Freedom class ships. But in any event, have a great day. Have a great week. I don't know if I'll get to attend any of your, you know, live streams or anything like that or whatever while I'm on board. I believe the ship does have the new Starlink internet, so I'm hoping that the internet.
That's a good video for you to report on. Just give us a reporting of how Starlink feels versus the old stuff.
Yeah. So, and then one thing I thought that I might do at some point in time, if at all possible or whatever, if I'm able to do that, if it, you know, the timing is right and everything else, the internet's working all right and everything like that too, I might possibly jump in on your next live stream or something like that or whatever, but from the ship. So
Have a great cruise, and we
Yeah,
look forward to your
Thank you.
speedy and good recovery.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Have a great day, guys.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
You done?
Well, thank you for coming in to our almost 2-hour live stream. We definitely appreciate you guys coming in. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And don't ever forget, we love you.
Love you.